And so María Jose Bejarano is a Costa Rican psychologist, playworker, and dance movement therapist trained in Buenos Aires, Argentina. She's finishing her studies in Erasmus Plus program, Choreomundus master's degree in dance knowledge, practice, and heritage. Her main interests are social change through expressive movement systems, somatic and cultural activism. Her research has been centered on dance and movement in vulnerable communities and contexts of political conflict in Latin America. Welcome so very much, Maria Jose. Thank you for coming with us. And she's going to be sharing today the presentation, Rhythmic Resonances as Bodily Empathy Among Post-Conflict Communities in Colombia. So welcome again, and please, I give you the space for your presentation.
Thank you very much. I know my name doesn't show, so I'm very sorry about that because I'm not using my computer. It's a pleasure to be here today, and it was really interesting to listen to Benedict and her Benedict, I think is the right pronunciation. And it is really interesting, and you have opened a lot of questions in me, and that is precious. So thank you very much. I think I will share them later with you. And for today, I decided to start with a practical exercise. So I hope everybody joins. So I invite the ones with their cameras off to turn them on. And so we can like participate a little bit since it's been 4 days sitting down, being in the square. So we're gonna like move a little bit our body, very low profile, so don't panic. So this is because, well, I think what I am going to try to transmit, it is very embodied knowledge. So I want to first tackle the sensitive part of you to understand what I did in Colombia with a team of co-workers, and in that sense, try to build from that. So we have a very nice word in Spanish, and it was coined by a pioneer of action research in Colombia, and it's that his name is Orlando Falsborda, and he coined the term sentipensar. So sentipensar means to think and also feel at the same time. So he was fearing that we as academics, we will all the time just think and not feel combined with that. So I just invite you to grasp on what I'm gonna do from that. So first of all, I would like to show you a song. It's a very simple song, and I know we have some delays in the signal, but we will try to be synchronous. Okay, so the song goes like this. Dum da da dee dum da dee dee da dee dum da da dee dum da dee da dee da dum da da dee dum. And again, dum da da dee dum da dee dee da dee dum da da dee dum da dee da dee da dum da da dee dum. If you wish to turn on your microphones, it's perfect. And we go again, dum da da dee dum da dee dee da dee dum. Da da dee dum da dee da dee da dum da da dee dum. Dum da da dee dum da dee dum da dee dum da dee da dum da da dee dum. Dum da da dee dum. Da-dee-dee-da-dee-dum. Da-dee-dum, da-dee-da-dee-dum. Okay, with a lot of synchrony. Dum, dum, da-dee-dum, 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 da-da-dum, da-da-dee-dum. Dum, da-da-dee-dum, da-dee-dee-dee-dum, da-da-dee-dum, da-da-dee-dum, da-da. Dum, da-da-dee-dum, da-dee-dee-da-dee-dum, da-da-dee-dum, da-dee-da-dee-da-dum, da-da-dee-dum. Okay, I'm gonna just sing it myself so that we remember it and not get confused. Okay, so it's dum da da dee dum da dee dee da dee dum da da dee dum da dee da dee da dum da da dee dum. So you can go now, dum da da dee dum da dee dee da dee dum da da dee dum da dee da dee da dum da da dee dum. Dum da da dee dum da dee dee da dee dum da da dee dum da dee da dee da dum da da dee dum. Dum da da dee dum da dee dee da dee dum da da dee dum da dee da dee da dum da da dee dum. Dum da da dee dum da dee da dee dum da da dee dum da dee da dee da dum da da dee dum. And one more and dum da da dee dum da dee da dee dum da da dee dum da dee da dee da dum da da dee dum. And one more and one da da dee dum da dee da dee dum da da dee dum da dee da dee da dum da da dee dum. Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, we know we have a delay, but it's fine. So now I would like to invite you to concentrate the attention of your body into your hands. So I just want hands in front of the camera. It's fine if you don't want to appear, you can do like this and just leave your hand. And I will share some music and guide you through an exploration. So I'm sorry. So I want you to look at your hand and just look at it. Observe it. It's not working. Okay, observe your hand, the shape of it, and yeah. And can you listen to the music? No, it's not in the. Okay. Sorry. Okay, observe. Meanwhile, my friend is gonna help me with the music. So we're gonna just look at our hands and see how we can move. We can move like if we were playing the piano. It can move if we can open and close. We can also try and try to notice how it feels, the lines, how some other feels, the other fingers of the other hand. And we are just gonna wave, okay, to someone. Now that we are wearing masks around the world, we no longer have our smile, so we're just gonna wave in different manners. Or we can say hi. We can say like a model, like a Miss Universe. So I want you to explore how does your hand move? Are you hearing the music? A little bit. Yes. And I want you, while you move yours, also to observe the other hand, how they move, which qualities they have. Yeah. Some move faster, some move like in this shapes, very kind of marine. Some are like kind of doubtful hands. So let's play a bit into which shapes we can do with the hands. And while you do that, also connect to other people's hands in their velocities, in the shape they do. And place your attention in your hand and the other people's hands. And if you get tired, you can change hands with the other. Yeah. Or you can use both, yeah. And maybe you find something that someone else is doing and you want to try it in your own hands. Yeah, perfect. Can you change maybe the speed, the quality? Maybe you can think of a material, different material. It's not the same to grab a rock than to like have something very small or delicate in your hand. It's not the same to throw a rock or a ball than to, I don't know, open a bottle. So try to also keep observing what you do and what others do. Yeah. And yes, I see very different hands. Yes, and we will start stopping the movement. Good. is it? Thumbs up? Okay, so we're gonna play a game with these hands, okay? So this game is a canon. So everybody will move their hands again, and when everybody else has to stop. When someone starts again the movement, after we are all in pause, then we start the movement again, okay, like a wave. So I'm gonna play music. I will try to play music again. And I just play it on this. Yeah. I'm gonna play music and I'm sorry. Yeah. Even if it's not that loud, it's okay. So we're gonna move our hands. So yeah, everybody moves their hands. Yeah. Can you hear the music a little bit? Okay. So remember to follow the pause. Okay, the game is this one. When someone pauses, everybody pauses. And when everybody is paused and someone breaks the pause, then we all break the pause, okay? Let's go again. Great, break. Thank you very much. That was fun. Okay, so now I swear I'm almost done. The last proposal of the games is I'm not gonna play music. Either way, it's not playing that well, to be honest. And but I want everybody to move their hands and let's try to find a common rhythm. Okay, so think about the music you want and move us as you please, and let's try to find a common rhythm as thinking about our hands and feeling them, but at the same time connecting with the others. Okay, so starting now. Find someone you want to follow, maybe in what they are doing. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so before going to the other segment, I would like to ask you to give you the word and like to listen. What did you feel from this short playful experience? Whoever wants to talk, or you can also say something in the chat, and Jorge is the host, so he will let us know. Okay, Richard says community. In what sense? Do you want to share? Don't be shy.
I think it's just that communal act of moving together and thinking together, something that I guess as a practitioner, I miss not being in the studio.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been in uni since March. So, you know, that sense of just gathering and moving with somebody in the same thought process, even if it's not the same movement. So it was kind of nice to actually just move with other people.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, you know, and we are a community.
Yes.
You know, so that's where my head was.
Thank you, Richard. And Beatriz in the chat is saying that is the closest she has been of moving with others recently. And also Juan, wait, I am trying to read the, yeah, there I have it. I really love the movement to actively have to recognize others. It's another way of listening, yes. True, Juan. Yeah, connection is not easy fit over Zoom, of course. And Jorge says generosity, ambivalence. In what sense, ambivalence?
I think that the very moment that you started to ask for us to copy other person or to try the rhythm of the other person, it was difficult at the beginning because some people were really slow and some other people were really fast. And so you wanted to follow, and at some point I just surrendered, and I just felt it's okay. Like there's just a bunch of different rhythms and we can just have it all, right?
Exactly.
So that was ambivalent because it was not one thing or the other, it was kind of both.
Someone else? Oh, I have here in the chat. The cosmos. Oh wow, that's a lot. Maybe you want to share in what sense the cosmos? I think he's gone or she. But Taina says, I even forgot I was in front of a camera for a second. It was fun to feel connected to the others. Yeah, like the 3D body, it's gone these days, no? Like we are in this, like the body is this, like a chest, neck, and face, and we are like in 2D. So like we have to remember we have like the back part of our heads and all. It's like kind of, it's kind of unsettling, no? Someone else wants to share?
Can I share? People hear me talking.
They can hear you because
Yeah.
you're on the same.
I felt that it was first time that I felt that other people in the screen are actually people and not just like moving pictures. Because yeah, this kind of connection that the body generated and like through rhythm and it was really nice.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, the girls here had the opportunity to dance with each other in 3D as we used to
for a while.
as we used to in March. And it says okay, I have to leave you guys. I love your energy. Thank you, Juan. Juan is a musician. He's leaving us. Thank you for being here and see you. And yeah, Jorge responded. Okay, so my next question to you guys. Sorry to be asking questions instead of talking. I will talk, I swear. But I was wondering, I presented my research 1 week ago. I defended my thesis, and we are in the middle of a global pandemic, and I was thinking, why would it be important to finish a thesis in this moment, no? And like, why? Like, why is important? So I considered like all this pandemic situation is leading us to also kind of be a reconfiguring community, no? Ourselves, as Richard said, we are a community here today. We are people from the world, from different countries, different cultures, different backgrounds and all, and we are reconfiguring, such as the ones I work with in Colombia. So I have my thoughts, but I would like to hear from you. Like, in which senses do you feel we as a global community are reconfiguring? You can put it right in the chat. You can raise your hand.
I think while anybody says anything, I think this kind of event through the internet, although they used to happen before, I think nobody used to be that engaged, and now I think it's the only way that we have of connecting with each other. So I think although the small communities are kind of thrown apart, we are building like a online community that is interesting. The way you're connecting with people, like friends that before never call you because why will they call now, or they're calling? And
We were smaller than ever now.
Someone else?
Yeah, I had also like connected with the previous thing we were doing on how this, like suddenly a lot of people moving their hands. It's a meaningful event for me that maybe it wouldn't be in other circumstances.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it, and also related to the language of the nice feeling of sending and receiving feedback from another person. And it's something that maybe we've lost, and I don't know, like I've been thinking, okay, am I gonna dance maybe couple dances the way I used to, like after all this time by myself? I had been around that question. And so and then this moment becomes absolutely meaningful and joyful, and I don't know if it would have been otherwise.
Thank you, Beatriz.
I also have had a thought of, I guess, piggybacking what everybody else has said, but there's also a sense of pause as we're waiting to see what will happen and how we come out on the other end. Because now people are we're trying to make our practice work online and what is happening, but there's also a thought at the back of our heads. What is going to happen when we come out on the other side? When I'm allowed to engage in my practice again, when I get to meet other dancers, what is that going to be like? And I hate this term, what is our new normal as practitioners, as artists? Because there's some of us who will absolutely hate continuing a practice online.
Yes.
Who don't feel that connection with the internet. What is their place going to be like? What is the art going? And I find myself questioning that, as I still have yet to finish my degree, but I'm quite like, what the hell what am I going into? Especially since I had an artistic career before I started to study, that I gave up to move country and everything, the question. And I feel there's a sense of that as well in the artistic community, a sense of pause and, I don't want to say angst, but just a waiting and a held breath to be able to just go, here I am at the end of this, which I think is also another side of the coin of trying to keep ourselves going. And then wondering, okay, I've done all this reflection and thought, how is that going to manifest itself on the other side? Which I think is also quite interesting.
Okay. Yes, basically you tackled my thoughts, what I thought about when designing this quick exercise for you guys. And it's this sense of, because I find three main aspects that are common to this small space that we have today and what we did in Colombia, and it's the reconfiguration of our bodies, then the reconfiguration of our territories, and then the reconfiguration of our relationships. So I want to finish this second part, this second section, by showing you something. So maybe Jorge can make me a host. Yes, okay. And this is an artwork. Wait. Exhibited in the MoMA in New York. And it's from the artist Felix Gonzalez Torres. Can you all see it? So it's called Perfect Lovers. And I found it very revealing, for the topic of how we find each other in movement, how we find each other in general in life, and how our interactions are marked by a rhythm. So you can read in the right the letter that Felix wrote to his partner. It says, "Don't be afraid of the clocks. They are our time. Time has been so generous to us. We imprinted time with the sweet taste of victory. We conquered fate by meeting at a certain time in a certain space. We are a product of the time. Therefore, we give back credit where it is due. Time. We are synchronized now and forever." So all of this introduction is for talking about the topic of empathy. And what we did in Colombia was basically what we just did in the beginning. And I am very glad that you felt it and that you felt it meaningful and the feedback that you gave, because I can be here for 6 hours talking about that I could not explain it. So by just connecting each other through our hands, you already can grasp better what we did with the kids, which were this song, the song that I sang in the beginning, and the exercise of the canon. Of course, it was pre-COVID world, so we could play more with our whole bodies and being present in the space together and all. So we worked in 2 lines. So I'm gonna talk in this talk about just the first one and just mention the second one, okay? And all of this that we just did, I had a very amazing academic experience in which I went to the field. We worked in 3 communities, and I went to the field with other 2 researchers. We went there, we watched the group, and we started creating a methodology for enhancing empathy from our backgrounds in contemporary dance, in contact improvisation, in classical ballet. We all had a similar in dance movement therapy. So we had a similar background, and we went there and created a bunch of exercises and activities that we made with the group, and then we started like designing, like, okay, what worked, what didn't work. It was action research, of course. And when I was analyzing my work, I found an amazing model, developed an amazing theoretical model developed by 3 German researchers. And I can send later somehow maybe in the Facebook event the article or something for you. But what they did was take all the theory in dance, dance neuropsychology, in dance movement therapy, and in neuropsychology in general, and did a model to enhance empathy through the body. So they say that empathy is composed by 3 main aspects. The cognitive aspect, that is, for example, when you guess what someone else is thinking. For example, that person is bored, or that person didn't want to come, or that person will like avoid me, for example. It's something cognitive, no? Then the second element is the affective emotional part. And it's when you listen to a friend that is sad and you feel sad a little bit yourself, or when you watch a movie, no, you kind of react to that. And the third component is the kinesthetic empathy. So the kinesthetic empathy is all that we just practiced. So we have it now in our bodies. So I'm gonna like analyze it in its components according to these researchers. So the kinesthetic empathy for these researchers is composed by these 4, actually is 3 components. Self-perception, which includes self and other differentiation. So everybody needs to know that my body is like reaches this point and I am here, and this person starts somewhere else, no? Like the person next to me starts in her or his skin, and so on. Then the non-verbal expressive skills that we all express in different manners, and the bodily dimensions of social interactions. So this is what we just did. I'm gonna explain this very quick. So they say the researchers say that kinesthetic empathy have 2 prerequisites. Sorry for that S that is down there. 2 prerequisites, and core elements. So the prerequisites are the perception, like elements to refine body and movement perception of oneself and the other people. Somebody wants to tell me, where did we explore that today?
When we were stopping the hand or continuing the hand to move the hand.
No, it's like perception means to be aware of your body, basically. So in which exercise did we find that today? Yeah, looking at the hand. I'm seeing, don't be shy.
I think the first one, no, when we were all just moving our hands and hands.
Exactly, the first one, my friend Sue is telling me. The first one, no? So as we cannot be there present with all our bodies, then with our hands, we practice a little perception, like, how is my hand? How is my texture? How does it move? What colors does it have, etc. Then the expression, the expression part means to have elements in the dance that promote bodily, expressive, and creative possibilities. And in the dance, it means basic movements such as variations in walking, variations in and contrasting of movements, creating a small choreography. So we also went through that in the exercise today. Where can you locate it? So we did that through the free movement, no? Like I asked you to wave in different ways, and I asked you to move the hand in different ways and explore how it could move. And we could observe how others were moving in their qualities, their speeds, and all. And the third one is the interaction. So the interaction has three elements. Imitation, that is what was mentioned before by Tristan, I think, when she asked Benedict about the imitation. So basically, yes, we learn by imitation, by mirroring someone else. We sort of did that today because usually it's made in couples and like functioning as a mirror of each other. Then we have a second element that is the synchronous movement to other people and it's not to movement. It's to music. It's to music, to other people or to music. So we did both today. We moved synchronically to other people and also to music. And then we have the third element that is motoric cooperation. And it means we didn't do that today because I couldn't solve how to do it in the online version. But in the workshops in Colombia with the children, we did, for example, tasks, games in which they had to collaborate to reach a certain goal, like taking one person to the other side of the room all together, for example. And that's how we worked on all the elements of the empathy. And just to finish, what we did, it's called it's Museum Bodies for Empathy. In Spanish is Museo Cuerpos para la Empatía. And I'm gonna share some of the images. Oh, how can I? Other, okay. I'm gonna oh wait, I'm gonna stop sharing. I don't even know what time is it, sorry, but I think I'm fine. And I'm gonna share the video. Where is it? Okay. I'm gonna just, here it is. Se ve. Okay. So the audio is in Spanish, but I just want you to see the like what we did. So in the first part of the project, we developed workshops, obviously longer, but with the same idea of what we just did. And we worked in post-conflict communities, and we did
En el Museo Cuerpos para la Empatía desarrollamos procesos de
activities with them.
Y una plataforma virtual en donde los participantes aprenden herramientas de sanación y creación a través de lenguajes corporales y audiovisuales. Nuestros procesos de formación seguían bajo dos ejes fundamentales, la empatía y el patrimonio. Al entender nuestro cuerpo como primer territorio, reducimos los niveles de ansiedad, agresividad y violencia, activando la empatía consigo mismo y con el otro. La conciencia corporal nos permite mejorar la autoestima, las relaciones sociales y el respeto por la diversidad cultural y el territorio.
Body awareness.
Nuestras exhibiciones ofrecen metodologías y habilidades innovadoras en los participantes, y estas combinan una gran variedad de medios como el audiovisual, la danza, el video mapping, el performance, entre otros, siempre haciendo visibles los patrimonios locales para fortalecer las relaciones de los habitantes con su territorio. Nuestra plataforma integra todas las experiencias conformando un museo virtual que permite el diálogo y la interacción entre diversas comunidades por dentro.
Experiences can connect also the groups among them. And yeah, this is what we did, very briefly, of course. And this is what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you so very much, Majo, for this wonderful presentation, interactive presentation. I can see a lot of gestures of applause in the chat, so I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed it too. So we're gonna close this session with a short Q&A. So anybody that wants to ask or reflect or just made it can be also an observation to the work that Majo just shared with us. Please feel free with the two different channels that we've been using throughout these sessions, either the text box or the raise my hand option. And as people take a moment to grab and gather their own questions, I think I would like to jump ahead and just know, Majo, what was your perspective, or what was your rationale to start making this presentation first with the accent or the emphasis on the embodied experience, and how do you see that it differs from doing other types of presentations because I'm sure that you already have done it, when you are highlighting the theoretical or like the academical part of it. I'm just wondering if this is a result of all the explorations that you have done because you're studying embodied practices, and how at some point I can see this permeating not only your objectives, but also the way in which you're presenting your objectives.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you, Jorge. Yes, the short answer would be what I mentioned, how the embodied knowledge sometimes is disregarded from academia, and that sensitive knowledge should be included, because also mainly talking about dance knowledge and about encounter through dance, like I feel that it is important not only to do research about the bodies, but from the bodies. and to listen to the information that we gather from, in my case, in my topic, encountering through dance and interacting through dance. So yeah, that's my position. And I also have this idea that not only empathy is the object of study, but it's like the means through which you reach knowledge. Like you need to put yourself in the field to be able to listen to other information that you wouldn't gather if you don't get in touch with your, or activate your senses in a kinesthetic way. I don't know, I read a very interesting article about a researcher and anthropologist called Rosa Martin, and she said how she was using her knowledge as a dancer in the field when she had some trouble. She talks about two specific cases, but in one she was kind of in trouble because she was in a conflicted area, I think in Israel and Palestine, and how she was, for example, she was conscious that she was using her knowledge as a dancer to feel calm and to know what she was projecting on the police, so that she would like kind of get rid of the situation. But she reflects mainly on that, on how we as dancers don't leave our like toolbox or like dancers in the house and then go to do ethnography. We go to do ethnography as dancers, and that creates a different knowledge that maybe someone else that has another speciality. So I don't know if I answered, but kind of throwing some lines in there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Majo. Until someone else decides to ask a question, I will like to check.
I think Beatriz raised her hand.
Oh, great. Then let's go with that question.
I'm just very thankful with your exercises and your proposal, and I wanted to say that I have been in kind of following others like Zoom events on improvisation, and it is very much like you do your thing yourself, but you really don't connect with others, and I think that this one really led me to connect, so I really wanted to thank you for that.
Thank you.
And I also have a question. I don't know if this is too much for the last minutes, but you know, like I also trained in like this kind of so-called Western genres of ballet, improvisation, theatrical dance, and this. And I know, and I do value how much they have to do with empathy and with ways of going beyond what you usually do. But I also think that I am very curious on the relationship you had with the local genres of the local people that you were working with. And so I don't know if this is the time to talk about that, but that's where my curiosity goes through.
Yes. Thanks. Yeah, well, I think I can give at least a short answer. Thank you very much for your question. And yes, that was one of my concerns, because we started in a group of children, very young, like from 6 to 13-year-old. So we kind of started by tackling the prerequisites and the core elements of empathy and all as we knew it, but we didn't we didn't name them as that in that moment. We just thought like, okay, these kids are super anxious, they cannot wait, they cannot listen to each other, they're just screaming all the time. They were in this first community was really complicated in terms of vulnerability and so on. So it was very necessary to tackle all these points, at least from our point of view, and to listen which dissonances would come from them, and that we were try to be conscious in the 3 communities that we worked in, and some of them we could identify not only because they are from a different culture, but because the circumstances of the community kind of determines how they relate and how they receive certain corporeal exercises. So we had some situations of like, oh, this wasn't like accurate because of that, but that's how I think that's the potency of the research, like to go there and try something and to say like, and to as tools of research in themselves, the activities gave some information about how they embody movement, how they embody interaction, and unfortunately on the last the last community we stayed the shortest time, and it was the most unknown for me. Like it was the Wayuu community in the Guajira in Colombia, next to the border with Venezuela, and it's impressive how we Latin Americans feel very foreigners in our own land when speaking to indigenous, because of all the history of exclusion and so on. Like, of course, we couldn't grasp how they think about their bodies, I could grasp some things like how their corporalities are connected with some natural elements, some experience of time in a, like they think time is a spiral and not a line. That's a lot to think about your body, for example. But of course, I didn't have the time. We didn't have the time to contrast, like, and we could just like try to see how their own games could have the same function as our proposals, for example, and then present the activities to them as games. And they pretty much engaged as to learn some other game like any other kid.
Fantastic. Majo, I think we're gonna close unless someone else has another question. I just wanted to read out loud those 2 wonderful comments that you have in the chat box that says, there was something very spontaneous, not embarrassing. Normally Zoom is not like that, referring to your exercises. And also, great talk and surprising and nice experience to hand dance with you all. So I think that reflects some of the experiences that you shared with us. So I want to thank you again, Majo, for this special presentation, and for everybody that has joined today. Thank you so much for connecting with us. The last thing that I want to tell you is that tomorrow we will also have 2 more presentations, one by Gregor Dobler. He's going to be presenting his presentation, Rhythm in Work, Between Autonomy and Heteronomy. And we will also have Francisco Vergara's presentation tomorrow as well, with the topic Anthropological Perspectives on Rhythm. So if you can join us there, we will be very happy to see you. But other than that, Majo, do you want to close with any other comment for the participants?
No, thank you very much, Francisco and Jorge, for this space. And I think it's wonderful how we had different approaches every day. And I am looking forward for tomorrow to complete the webinars and like try to engage with different approaches to rhythm.
Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Have a good day.